Welcome to Anatomy Nutshell. In this video we are going to see about ribs, the osteology of ribs. Ribs தமிழ்ல என்ன சொல்லணும்னா விடா எலும்புகள். They are 12 pairs, 12 on either side along with the thoracic vertebra and anteriorly the sternum forming the thoracic cage. தமிழ்ல எலும்பு கூடு, நெஞ்சு கூடு ஃபார்ம் பண்ணுது இந்த ரிப்ஸ் எல்லாம் சேர்ந்து. The 12 pairs may increase or decrease in number because of the presence of the cervical rib or lumbar rib. So today we are going to see the typical rib. Before moving to the rib, typical rib, we divide the ribs according to the articulation into three varieties. They are vertebrosternal, vertebrochondral and the vertebral ribs. The upper 7 ribs are directly attached to the sternum. They are called vertebrosternal ribs. And the 8th, 9th and 10th ribs are called vertebrochondral ribs because they are attached to the 7th costal cartilage on the anterior aspect. The 11th and 12th ribs are attached on the posterior aspect alone. There is no attachment on the anterior side. So they are called vertebral ribs or floating ribs. The obliquity of the ribs increases from the above downwards. The 9th rib has the maximum obliquity and the length of the ribs increased from 1st to 7th ribs. Then the length is decreased from 8th ribs downwards. Now we are going to see the parts of the typical rib. So this is posterior end, this is anterior end. Anterior end is flattened. So posterior end has head, neck and the tubercle and in between shaft. The shaft contains outer surface and inner surface, superior border and the inferior border. So inferior border has one longitudinal groove. The groove is called costal groove. We can determine the site with the help of these parts. So this is posterior end. Here is the anterior end for the costal attachment. So the rib is placed obliquely like this. So posteriorly it articulates with the vertebra, anteriorly with the costal cartilage. So this belongs to the right side rib. The typical ribs are 3 to 9. First, second, 10th, 11th, 12th are atypical ribs. Coming to the description of the individual parts of the ribs. So the anterior, it's a flattened and it has a concave oval surface for the attachment of the costal cartilage. So the posterior end has head, a short constricted part is neck, then tubercle. So in the head it has two facets. The facets are separated by a longitudinal ridge in the middle. Two facets, upper facet and the lower facet. So the upper facet is larger and the lower facet is smaller. The larger upper facet articulates with the vertebra above. The lower articular facet articulates with the corresponding number of the thoracic vertebra. Then followed by a small constricted part. It has upper border and the lower border, inner surface and the outer surface. Then tubercle. The tubercle has two parts, articular part and the non-articular part. The articular part articulates with the transverse process of the corresponding thoracic vertebra. And the non-articular part gives attachment to the lateral costotransverse ligament. Then shaft. from 5 centimeter of the tubercle in the shaft there is an angle. Then the shaft consists of outer surface and inner surface, upper border and the lower border. Outer convex surface, the inner concave surface. The upper border is somewhat rounded. It has outer lip and the inner lip, and the lower border is sharp. Here we have the costal groove. Now we are going to see the attachments of the typical rib. Anteriorly, the head provides attachment to the radiate ligament, and it's related to the sympathetic chain and the costal pleura. The crest of the head provides attachment to the intra-articular ligament of the costovertebral joint. The attachments on the neck, the anterior surface is covered by the pleura. The inferior costotransverse ligament is attached to the rough posterior surface. Superior costotransverse ligament is attached to the crest of the neck. The crest is nothing but superior border of the neck. The lateral non-articular part of the tubercle gives attachment to the lateral costotransverse ligament. The thoracolumbar fascia and the sacrospinalis muscle attached to the near the angle of the shaft. The medial to the angle, the levator costae and the sacrospinalis muscle. Coming to the anterior aspect of the shaft, it gives attachment to the external oblique and the serratus anterior muscle, and the demarcation between the external oblique serratus anterior muscle, the oblique line is called anterior angle. It lies about 5 cm from the anterior end. And the external oblique and the latissimus dorsi muscle between the 9th and 10th ribs. It is also demarcated by that same oblique line. And the costal groove contains van structures from above downwards: intercostal vein, intercostal artery and intercostal nerve. And the muscles attached on the upper and lower border of the shaft of the ribs are: the outer lip gives attachment to the external intercostal muscle. The inner lip of the upper border gives attachment to internal intercostal and the intercostalis intimae muscle. In the same way, the lower border, the outer aspect, the sharp aspect gives attachment to the external intercostal muscle. The floor of the costal groove gives attachment to the internal intercostal muscle. Above the floor of the costal groove, it gives attachment to innermost intercostal muscle or intercostalis intimae muscle. The ossifications of the ribs are: 1 primary center and 3 secondary center. 1 primary center appears at the age of 8th week of intrauterine life near the angle for the shaft, and 3 secondary centers, 1 for the head and 2 for the tubercle, appear about at the age of puberty and unite with the rest of the bone after 20 years of age. Thank you. We will see the atypical ribs in the next video.